Hey everyone, this is Uri for Guerrilla Poker, and we're gonna play some hands. NL 200. No particular goal here other than to try to play well and see if cool things happen because, yeah, poker's just a game where cool things can happen. You just play your hands regularly, and then all of a sudden, some super unique situation comes up. It just seems to happen all the time. Yeah, so here we raise. Can bet or check back ace queen, and facing a half pot bet on a board's this dynamic, I feel like it's such a high chance someone would size up with an actual good hand with double flush draw straightening board that I'm just gonna raise this and put him on more of a bad hand and just gonna put the stack in. So the decision to put my stack in basically came on the turn due to his bet and was clearly very wrong. Bad Uri. Yeah, here we'll try to show down. It's not an easy call for him by any means, to be clear. Here the 3-bet size is small enough. As these go smaller, we get to peel more speculative hands. So this becomes a call, basically just getting better pot odds, and we're drawing to, you know it, an ace, a flush, trips, all these hands. So I never know how much the effect of my name being there has on people playing tricky. Maybe I shouldn't go too crazy. But yeah, the important thing there is to take a note. I don't think there's anything wrong with a play. This against the lacy bet is kind of close. We'll click call this time. When boards have all these multiple high cards, a pair of tens is greatly devalued. And we now face pot on the river after half pot on the turn on a card where not much changed. So this is like ace 5 or a bluff. There's this rule that when you're against a recreational player, any pots or bigger, that's underbluffed, right? So what people did is they went through a ton of hand histories. They profiled what does a recreational look like, and then they kind of saw what the different sizes mean. When in doubt, fold to very big bets is a good rule of thumb there. Here we check call. It's actually a good board for me. I could probably just bet everything there. And here we see a small enough 3-bet where we get to call our jack 4 of hearts, which is nice. It's getting close on the turn, so we'll make a marginal call. Call this. And yeah, lose to queen 10. Makes sense. No worries. Here, we called you to pot odds. Now we just play our hand as it is, not looking to do anything special with a jack 4. So call flop very easy. Turn actually getting marginal. We now beat only bluffs. That being said, there are a lot of possible bluffs here. They have very high equity. It's tough. It's a tough one. Here on the river, the decision is, do we turn our hand into a bluff, given, if he has queens or something, it's not that easy for him to call. I feel like the answer is no, but it's kind of close. And we actually run into this merged hand. Now, can debate whether the play is good or not, but never be like, oh, what a terrible play, what the hell did he do, and move on. Stop and think about it. If we kind of stop and think about, how does betting queen 8 on the turn here do? Always ask yourself, is the guy folding out better or getting called by worse? So getting called by worse, yes. Folding out better, maybe I should fold jack 4. My tens are generally going to have a draw, so it doesn't really feel like it folds out much better. And so I feel like it might not be good enough. In that sense, king, queen of hearts facing a 4-bet, so this is relatively tight positions. I guess the hand should continue, but it's getting very dicey. And even now, flopping a queen. Tough to fold, but not very happy about it. This can better check versus a check, and now we face a normal size. Cool, so he checks back. Default would be to put him on jacks or ace king, but not sure jacks even 4-bets there. Let's play very defensive with a king queen and see what happens. And we somehow get here. I think we just shove and hope. This stage is a bit big. So ace-5 of hearts, like we said before, hands are sensitive to sizings. As he 4-bets bigger, we just get not good enough odds to go with. Maybe we get a call here. That would be nice. Make some of the spew back. Okay. Now we're against a small blind. Small blind generally has tighter ranges, so it's less of an auto c-bet situation in general. Or you could go either way. You're supposed to ISO these kind of hands sometimes. Supposed to bluff flop with them sometimes. Everything's sometimes in poker. Lots of things are. We'll bluff now. Reasonable hand to bluff, and really small check raise, but we have nothing, so fold. I would have expected most guys to value raise bigger, so I'm a bit suspicious, but yeah, who knows. Okay. Let's check raise this. If he loves my content, he has to fold to the check raise. I think you don't type love your content with the top of your range. Here we probably continue a decent amount for a smaller size. The idea is I want to still bet my 2 pairs. I think I have those because he went really small. And so I kind of size down with everything to keep those together with the flushes. And then we'll split on the river. Kind of a solver-ish theoretical idea. I think people used to not do that, but it makes a lot of sense to me. Especially flushes are not in a rush. They are so strong. They can wait. Let's go with it this time. So here we bet flop turn the 7. Does a 7 have showdown value? Yeah, because we bet 1/3. So has more than 0. We'll go with it. And this is a check, and out of these 7.5 big blinds, I expect to win half a big blind to 1. So that's more than enough for me. There you go. There you go. And I'd tag him as passive for the showdown. Even if it's an okay showdown, I'm not judging theory. I feel like a lot of guys are not at the stage where they can say, oh, I'm supposed to show down King 10. And it's just indicative of a tendency there. Yeah. Here we have lots of dead money, so we need to play lots of limps. And I think the raise size should be to at least 10 if someone chooses to raise. And cool, we have a very, very strong hand. I think multi-way, you are supposed to bet quite small. Go ahead and bet 8. Vulnerable top pair, I think it makes a lot of sense to bet. And here with the flush coming in, I'll just bet very small with everything. And yeah, looks like this might just get through and we win the splash pot. I haven't won a splash pot in a very long time. Okay. Weird turn. So in theory, when straights come in, you are supposed to actually check a lot of these 2 pair hands. I think that's a very reasonable thing to do. Let's actually do the... Also, so many pair plus straight draws, and we might call all of them. Let's shove. I think checking would also be reasonable. Are we bet? No? There you go. All right. I turn the draw here. We have to check down, I think. Is that us winning? Yeah. So by virtue of betting turn, we stacked the guy. We didn't get it in as a big favorite or anything, but still nice. And I tend to check to call callers as a default. And we'll go with the loose 3-bet because this guy is not full stacked, even though it says 20 VPIP. Just try to show down the pocket 5s. And then calling the turn is reasonable and could actually lead the river, but then we'd be hoping he folds a queen. I think that doesn't make much sense. Ace king, try to show down, I guess. I don't know that he would have folded this hand, or that this guy would have folded this hand. It felt like that's what they're often gonna have. Yeah, let's wrap up soon. Always good to wrap up after winning a big pot. You keep your wins, avoid your losses, all good for the future. Okay, so we now have a very high equity hand on the turn here on a board that is quite strong for us. So I'll lead out because it's multi-way. I tend to size down the first bet, even though it might not be correct. I kind of wing it a bit. It's actually a reasonable rebluffing hand. Also a reasonable calling hand. We have nice enough equity to rebluff. We're always, having at least the gut shot and a flush draw line if we get it in. Just need to hope we're not against King Queen of Spades. I think that's like the worst situation. So yeah, I think shove and we'll take it and roll with the equity because this hand plays very, very poorly otherwise. Here we bet the turn 3, so we don't trap much anymore. Okay. Cool, let's wrap up with that. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you in the next one.